Hey parenting junkies, present play is coming up. Find out more by visiting the link below this video. The Parenting Junkie. Hey guys, welcome back to the Parenting Junkie, the place to go to love parenting and for parenting from love. Today I'm really excited to be collaborating with Rose from the Wholesome Feed channel. So head on over and check out her amazing channel. Rose talks all about peaceful, gentle parenting, holistic ideas, and breastfeeding. I know you're gonna love her videos. And today we're both going to be talking about gentle parenting and the high needs preschooler.
Really frustrating and draining to have a high needs preschooler and try to figure out how am I going to gentle parent them? How am I going to be peaceful in my parenting style for them?
If you're here from Rose's channel, huge welcome to you. My name is Vital. I'm a mindful parenting coach and I pop by here every Monday, and my main focus is helping parents reclaim independent play, presence of mind, and peace of mind while we have young children at home. So if you have a preschooler or a young child who you feel has extra high needs, who is extra sensitive or extra emotional, extra active perhaps, then this video is absolutely for you. And by the end of it, you will have 5 strong tips to get you started in managing a peaceful parenting approach with a child who might be referred to as spirited. Now, you might want to be taking notes during this video. Don't worry, I've got you covered. I've created a printable cheat sheet PDF with 20 ways to stay patient with your spirited child. And you can go ahead and download that absolutely free by clicking the link below. Number 1 is to take a break. If you are with your child all of the time, if you're their primary caregiver, you do need to find valves to release stress and energy. You need to be distanced from your child so that you can see them more objectively. Sometimes when we're with a child all day, every day, when we're the only one with them the whole time, we can really get suffocated and touched out. And so many parents come to me almost asking permission to take a break from their child, saying that they feel unsafe using a babysitter or that they feel nervous about a preschool setting, etc. And however it works for you, however it works in your life, you do need times, probably most of us do need times away from our children. We need times to refresh, we need times to set ourselves apart as individuals and remember who we are, to center ourselves, to digest the things that we need to digest and that we're learning without being actually parenting all the time. We don't do anything as intensely as we parent. It can be 24/7, literally. But every car needs to fill up gas, and every relationship needs time apart, and every project needs time to breathe so that we can really just think on it and come to it afresh. So please, if you're looking for permission, here it is. Here's permission to take a break. This also means just getting support. Look, parenting is not something that was designed to be done alone. And when you're with a high needs child or a spirited child, it's even more obvious that it's impossible to do it alone, or at least impossible to do it well. So if you want to do it well, get the support. I promise you, it's so much more about the quality than it is about the quantity. Focus on the quality of your time with your child rather than the quantity of hours that you spend with them every single day. Number 2 is self-care, and this leads directly from number 1. If you are not taking care of yourself, if you are not radically prioritizing your own self-care, your own mental, physical, and spiritual well-being, it's going to be almost impossible for you to peacefully parent your child. I was recently approached by a mother who's suffering from depression and has 2 little spirited children at home. And she asked me, can we parent peacefully if we have depression? My short answer was no, because we can't give what we don't have. If you don't have inner peace, if you don't have inner abundance, if you don't have inner joy and unconditional love for yourself, how are you possibly going to extend that to a child who's particularly demanding and needy? You have to have an overflowing cup before you can spill some of that love over into your child's cup. And that's why self-care and prioritizing self-care is going to be a major thing on your list. Now, self-care could be the typical, bubble baths and good night's sleep, or it could be a lot more than that. It could be about developing your own projects. It could be about prioritizing your mental health, your physical health. It means different things to all of us, but basically what I'm saying is put yourself and your needs very high, if not the highest, on your priority list, and that will necessarily spill over to your preschooler. Number 3 is to get tools. Look, I've argued elsewhere, and you can watch my video on parenting education. I don't think this stuff comes naturally to us. I think that we need tools because most of us didn't see peaceful and respectful parenting happen at home or in the families around us. If you're committed to being a gentle parent towards your child, but your child is particularly spirited or demanding, you're not going to know how to do it, what to say, how to set, your environment in motion, your schedule in motion in a way that supports you and your child best. So I highly recommend getting the tools. Now, I want to point you in the direction of a couple of great resources, particularly for parents of spirited children, although everyone can benefit from these. One is the book Raising Your Spirited Child by Mary Shidi Kochinka. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. It's a fantastic book, and her work is very helpful in reframing a lot of behaviors that are typically looked at as bad behaviors and understanding that it's in fact spirited behaviors and what that type of temperament means and needs. It's a fantastic book, and you can get the link to it below. Another book I highly recommend is Listen by Patty Whitfler. I have trained in the professionals course of the hand-in-hand parenting approach, Patty Whitfler's approach, and I absolutely love everything that's taught there. Filling up your toolbox in a way that feels good to you and feels supportive to you is critical when you have a spirited child. Number 4 is to learn to reframe everything. When you have a child who has intense outbursts or really defiant, people are so quick to label these behaviors as disorders. Things like being defiant and oppositional, having meltdowns and tantrums, being sensory sensitive, etc. We call these disorders so quickly when really it's just an expression of the diversity of human cognition. We are all different, and we all have different temperaments and different sensitivities. And some of us are highly sensitive and highly persistent and high needs in many ways. That's also normal. The key is to look at it in a way that is at least neutral, if not even positive. Every single child and every temperament and behavior within that child has a silver lining or even an outright and obvious benefit. Something majestic, beautiful, and wonderful about it. And if we choose to focus on those aspects of our children, it will make parenting them so much easier and more joyful, not to mention what it will do for their own self-concept. So rather than looking at your child as having a problem, as being difficult, as being exhausting, as being needy and challenging and demanding, or having some kind of disorder, look at them as being a unique, perfect being with all of their own strengths, characteristics, and approaches, beliefs, preferences that will serve them throughout their lives. Let me give you an example. Sometimes people will say a child is incredibly stubborn, and they'll say how difficult it is to parent them because they don't budge and they're so stubborn. But the truth is that being really stubborn is a side of being persistent. And persistence is an amazing quality. The ability to really follow through, to work for your desires and keep at something until you succeed. Now, granted, it might not be easy to parent a child like that when you just want them to get on with it and let it go. I know. But it's also an amazing quality that we can both admire and even aspire to in our own lives. It's really about redirecting and guiding those characteristics to positive and productive outlets rather than to conflict or chaotic expressions. You want to actively reframe and actively refrain from labeling negatively any of those characteristics that are coming through in your child. One of the tools that I love for this is from Simplicity Parenting, and it's called the Golden Child Exercise. And the point of this exercise is to cultivate a sense of loving towards your child, to really soften towards them and be gentle towards them from that loving energy, even when they're at their worst, quote unquote. So when you see them in that light and when you hold that frequency of love towards them, that will elevate your vibrations, both yours and your child's, into a place of love. I also want to point you in the direction of a live coaching session I held with Maggie, which was about her deepest, darkest feelings towards her spirited child. You can see how transformative that was for Maggie, who had real feelings of hatred towards her 7-year-old because of how spirited and difficult Maggie found her to be. Number 5 is to consciously cultivate patience. Often, parents will ask me, I set a limit, I told him he may not hit his brother, I blocked his hands, I did it gently, I was communicative, and he did it again 2 minutes later. It's not working. I really want to dissuade you from this way of thinking. I want you to take the long haul view. This is not a sprint, it's definitely a marathon. Childhood development takes years. You've got to really take note of how much they do change, but also you have to take the long-term view that change takes time. When you want to get on a new diet, lose weight, become kinder, have a better relationship with your partner, or build a better business, is it an overnight thing? Did someone tell you, it's not nice to gossip, and then overnight you stop gossiping? No, it takes us a long time to build new habits. And one of the examples I've been giving recently is that of a toddler learning to talk. If you think about the evolution of them learning to say a certain word, say it's water, okay, or water, for those of you who can't understand my accent, right? We want them to say water by the end of the process. But to begin with, they might be saying baba or gaga, right? And then it evolves into wawa, and eventually wada wada water water water, and they can finally say it properly. It took months. We understand this, and we don't turn around to the baby and say, it's not wawa, I told you water, I told you it's water, why are you still saying wawa? We don't get angry about that because we hold space for the patience that it takes for that development to happen. But somewhere around the age of 3, 4, we lose that patience and we expect our children to learn things much quicker. I said don't hit, why are you still hitting? But that's like saying, I said say water, why are you still saying wawa? It's not taking into consideration the fact that development takes time. You aren't going to the gym and hitting, the major big weight straight away, are you? That would totally break your body and it wouldn't build your muscle. Expecting our high needs and spirited children to just snap out of it isn't respectful of their process either. We need to come at this with bucket loads of patience and expect for it to take not just months, but years. If you like this video and you think it could help other parents with spirited children, please give it a like so it can become more discoverable. And of course, subscribe to the channel here on YouTube. Each and every one of you means the world to me. If you're looking for a supportive community of like-minded parents, I warmly invite you to join our Love Parenting with Avital Facebook group. Plus, head on over to theparentingjunkie.com and sign up for email updates so I can gift you my free PDF guide, 10 easy steps to transform your home into a play-inducing haven. Keep on loving parenting and parenting from love because your kids need you almost as much as you need them. The Parenting Junkie.